it's just terrific.
It's a testosterone-fueled showdown as very rich young men race very expensive fast cars in a battle to win over the admiring hangers-on. For many, it's about pulling power through astonishing horsepower.
Between supercar owners, there's a lot of competition, so it's always a case of who can get their car featured on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube more, and how many hits they can get.
So you'd literally get girls coming up to the car and being like, hey, like, what are you doing, kind of thing.
I've seen one red Lamborghini have a number written on in lipstick on the windscreen.
I'm friends with a few of the supercar owners, and they do appreciate kind of the attention they get from girls.
I think the car is pretty good looking, very aggressive, so I like showing it around.
We have Maseratis, we have McLarens, we have a Camaro, we have a GTR. We can show off as much as we like, create some noise.
All the toys here are top end, so when your Ferrari just isn't cutting the mustard, what are you going to do? Well, like Riyadh here, you have it painted gold, of course.
It's quite expensive, but it's cool. Finishing was amazing, so I just love it.
Not the shyest of multimillionaires, Riyadh just likes to see his golden gas guzzler fawned over by the adoring masses.
It's cool. I like seeing people smiling, entertaining people when they see the goal, so it's awesome, you know.
And if anyone were to suggest it's perhaps just a little bit over the top...
I'm 5-time world champion in kickboxing. I'm originally from Iraq, but I live in London. You know?
These tricked-out meme machines have become bigger celebrities than their multi-millionaire owners. Trending online is the Tron Lamborghini. And putting the austere in steering wheel, the Velvet Ferrari.
You do see a lot of personalised cars that have their own initials in the headrest, they have their initials on the car, and they really make it their own car.
I had it wrapped and detailed exactly as I wanted. It was originally silver, but I had it done white with like the black and red detailing and the wheels and all that. Brand new, it was just over 100 grand, but now it's probably about half that.
Oops, even for the super wealthy, spending heaps of money to make your car less sellable, but you more attractive, well, it's an expensive way to go about the mating game. And not everyone is after a kiss and a £250,000 lift home. Billionaires beware British bobbies and their weapons of mass humiliation. The annual Harrods Grand Prix is formula fun for the billionaire boy racers. The only trouble is the Sloane Street Straight isn't really a racetrack. Never mind, should polish out. Perhaps take the chance to get it plated platinum whilst you're at it. For the billionaire who prefers to marvel rather than mangle, there's a far less physical pain to be borne in high-end motor acquisition. If you want the contents of your garage to trump all competition, you must suffer the pain that hurts the hyper-rich deepest, the pain of becoming significantly poorer. It's August 2014, and the bids for this car, a 1962 Ferrari GTO, are increasing by $1 million a pop. The world record for the most expensive car ever sold at auction is about to be broken.
$34,650,000. Last chance. You own the car.
The mystery phone bidder has agreed to pay $39 million. That's £23 million for the Ferrari. It's a new world record and a huge sum to swallow.
There is no doubt that it's very simple to track the results of auctions over the last 3 or 4 years, and one can see very clearly how the values of these cars have been shooting up and up and up. Historic motor cars have appreciated just over 450%, which is huge, absolutely massive.
Blenheim Palace, Oxfordshire, and a high-end classic car auction has once again brought out the hyper-wealthy big hitters.
150 new money, 160, 170 here in the room.
Classic car auctioneer Chris Routledge is familiar with the new breed of big money buyers.
There are some clients who will be quite nonchalant and will say, buy it. 51. And that's an open-ended instruction to buy it. And if you've got another competing bidder who equally has an open-ended instruction to buy it, you do get fireworks.
At 50,000, now 52.
For the ultra-high net worth toy consumer, the competitive irritation of being pushed to astronomical bids by others equally determined is somewhat offset by a rather wonderful tax loop now working in their favour.
On my left, I'm asking for 60.
Wine, watches and cars are known as deteriorating assets. Except Vera's actually looked and noticed that the only deteriorating asset has actually gone up in value massively in the last 10 years.
But car collecting is not without its snags. Paul Bailey owns one of Britain's most valuable collections of supercars.
It is just absolutely fantastic to come down here and think, wow, how cool is that car? And how lucky am I to have one?
Or 39. For Paul, when it comes to hoarding rich list runarounds, well, more...
Ferrari Enzo.
...is more...
So this is my Lamborghini, my Aventador, Ferrari 360 Spider.
...is even more.
Cars that are in most collections, often they're locked away, wrapped up in cotton wool, people don't get to see them, they don't get driven, may literally just sit in someone's collection, gathering dust, waiting for the day when that person can double or triple or quadruple their investment.
But Paul has succumbed to another affliction that can ensnare the super-rich car collector.
My wife's California. This is a 360 Challenge Stradale.
But here's the problem. At which point does a quirky, horribly expensive passion turn a wealthy, sane man into a full-blown petrol head case?
This is Volcano Red, pearlescent orange, metallic yellow. I'm not afraid of a nice yellow on a car.
Is it this point?
Metallic silver. I needed to have a black one.
How about now?
16M SLS Spiker.
Paul is addicted to buying supercars. It's as simple as that. At least his wife Selena has a good grip on his mounting obsession.
Well, surely you don't need that many cars. You don't need that many shoes, you don't need that many handbags, you don't need a lot of things in life. But it is our passion. And we love to have the amount of cars we have, and hopefully some more in the future.
What do you do when a new one comes out? You really try hard not to buy it, but then you think, well, I'll just buy one of those, and that's a really cool car to have.
Porsche, Ferrari and the rest will make sure that Paul's ravenous desire can never be sated, because Paul is their perfect customer.
The dealer's now telling me that the GT3 RS is coming out any moment now, and then that's going to be a car I'm going to have, because currently my GT3 RSs are manual and the new ones are PDK. This is a ridiculous addiction. In some ways, I think it is as bad as alcohol, drugs or gambling. I could probably have some sort of medical help from somebody.
Paul's supercar habit would ruin most people, but as the value of his collection keeps on rising...
F40, it's gone up 7 times since I bought it.
This is perhaps the only known addiction that pays for itself. In the end, every toy has its day. There will always be a newer, brighter bauble to tickle a billionaire's passing fancy.
Are the super rich happier? Probably happier than the super poor. I mean, you know, we can safely say that. But we have to ask why the accumulation of wealth is the main driver in their life.
In my experience, the more money people have, the more problems they have, especially if you've come across a lot of money very quickly. Who am I now?
People get trapped by the trappings of their wealth, boats and their planes that all have to be taken care of, and it isn't freedom at all.
I think the very, very rich have always had